Following his contentious defeat against Ayala, Sabalenka has threatened to quit the WTA. One of the most thrilling nights in women's tennis history was created from what started out as a normal contest. An unanticipated loss. A response no one had anticipated. And a stillness that had fans wondering if one of the toughest fighters in the sport was really prepared to give up. We go into the match, the collapse, and the moment that the tour feared may turn everything around tonight. Although underdogs have triumphed in tennis before, Alexandria Ayala's ascent seemed unique. She revised expectations in addition to playing matches. She wasn't expected to pose a challenge to the tour's heavyweights when she started the season rated outside of the top 40. She was bold, quick, imaginative, and youthful. However, until this event, no expert had the audacity to rank her among the elite competitors. Something changed throughout the first few rounds. Commentators began referring to the fire she was using to destroy seasoned players as the spark. She had good footwork. Her posture exuded confidence that suggested she wasn't playing for survival, and her shot selection was mature beyond her years. She was trying to dominate by playing. Word quickly spread. Videos of her daring down the line winners and angles went viral on the internet. Comment sections were inundated with adulation from fans in the US, Europe, and Asia. For over 3 days in a row, her name was trending. She turned to become the tournament's big story. But Aryna Sabalenka, a lady whose mere presence demanded respect, loomed in the shadows of her ascent. The emotional lifeblood of the WTA, he is a heavy hitter and multiple Grand Slam champion. Expectations trailed Sabalenka like a thundercloud when she entered a draw. She was accustomed to being under pressure. It was her home. She even flourished on it at times. But it felt heavier this season. She had experienced lengthy matches, narrow defeats, and times when detractors wondered whether she was losing her advantage. According to one analyst, she remains the alpha, but the pack is getting closer. Sabalenka was aware of it. She felt as though she had to pass every match. Every comparison, every interview, and every headline brought weight that she never requested. And the story changed as I continued to win. What happens if the queen is challenged by the young star? The excitement increased. When the semi-final draw put them on a collision course, fans' desire for a match intensified. Sabalenka dismissed inquiries. "It's just another match," she added, her smile restrained. But beneath that smile, she felt strained because she knew something wasn't quite right. Ayala wasn't acting like the underdog. She was acting as though someone was vying for her position. Furthermore, the idea of being displaced was not only disconcerting but also enraging for a champion like Sabalenka. Drama was what the competition desired. Fireworks were what the supporters wanted. They were going to receive more than they had requested. Tension hummed in the air like static as soon as the players set foot on the court. Those who followed Sabalenka's career were unfamiliar with the tightness of her expression, despite her seeming laser-like intensity. Ayala, on the other hand, moved with purpose rather than haughtiness. The kind that draws attention from even seasoned champs. The first several games went according to plan. Sabalenka established dominance by attacking hard and making early mistakes. Her aggressiveness was applauded by commentators. They answered, "This is the Sabalenka we know." Ayala, however, did not fold. Rather, she adjusted. She diverted speed, absorbed Sabalenka's big forehands, and pushed her into awkward positions. Every rally turned into a psychological conflict. And the momentum changed gradually. Then the time arrived. Ayala blasted a looping forehand at 33 that came uncomfortably close to the baseline. Mid-step, Sabalenka raised her hand and insisted it was out. The umpire didn't agree. The point was still valid. The audience erupted. Sabalenka quarreled. Tension increased. Ayala remained unflinching. The spark came from that moment. Suddenly, Sabalenka's strength was insufficient. She became frustrated. Normally crushing shots flew past the lines. Her timing was off. Her breathing became more labored. She started staring at her squad in shock, as if she didn't comprehend what was going on. Ayala, meanwhile, had the game of her life. The first set was completed by a stunning cross-court winner. The stadium let forth a roar. The upset was no longer insurmountable. It was happening in real time. Sabalenka put up a valiant fight in the second set. Angry looks at the umpire, fist pumps, and screams. It was the kind of unadulterated passion that characterized her work. Ella, however, matched her intensity with cool accuracy. 42-53-54. Next, at the point of match, Ella smashed a forehand winner down the line after stepping into a return. Set, match, game. The stadium blew apart. Ella's expression conveyed incredulity. Her group let out a shout. Fans celebrated the occasion by waving flags and chanting her name. But Sabalenka was the center of attention to AN. Her jaw clenched. She fought back tears, her chest rising quickly. Too fast, she shook Ella's hand and turned to face her bench without turning around. She spoke something to herself. It was captured by courtside reporters. And the video became viral in a matter of minutes. The internet exploded as soon as Sabalenka left the court. The video of her mumbling, "I can't do this anymore," received 500,000 views on X in only 10 minutes. Hashtags took off in less than an hour. Hashtag WTA drama from the Sabalenka meltdown era leaves the tour. Her response was replayed in slow motion on every sports site. Her body language was examined by analysts. Reaction channels produced thumbnails featuring frightened faces and flashing red arrows. Fans immediately took sides. Some people stood up for her. Sabalenka bears the burden of the entire sport. She is free to express her emotions. Others launched an assault. She showed no class, disrespected Ayala, and left like a bitter loser. However, the loudest faction promoted a more sinister story. Is Sabalenka giving up tennis? A phony news account appeared. According to sources, Sabalenka is thinking about quitting the WTA because of unfair treatment. It wasn't authentic. It was irrelevant. People took it at face value. Timelines were overrun with memes. Sabalenka took pictures of people breaking contracts, boarding airplanes, and packing baggage. Ayala's burgeoning star was aggressively guarded by tennis enthusiasts from the Philippines and around the world. Fair and square, she prevailed. It was chaos, thousands of people wrote. In an attempt to put out the blaze, even commentators spoke up. Sabalenka is upset, but let's take it slow as we end the tour. However, no one slowed down. The rumor grew stronger when Sabalenka posted nothing. No message, no apology, nothing at all. It was seen by fans as confirmation. After all, Sabalenka had previously made raw, impassioned remarks. Sometimes pressure breaks even the strongest, a former athlete stated on a podcast. Meanwhile, Ayala made an effort to maintain her composure. Her post-match interview was all about improvement, hard effort, and thankfulness. Not once did she bring up Sabalenka. However, avoiding the subject did not put an end to the storm. It was just strengthened by it. The situation reached a new height when an insider revealed information from Sabalenka's locker room a few hours later. The source claims that Sabalenka repeatedly said, "I'm tired," while sitting with her head in her hands. "I have to stop doing this." Her team made an effort to reassure her that the loss did not define who she was. "It's not the loss, it's everything," she reportedly added, shaking her head. Panic was sparked by those three words. Journalists covering tennis started wondering about burnout. Mental tiredness was reported by former players. Retirement was feared by fans. Whether the Belarusian powerhouse had finally given in to the tour's expectations was a topic of discussion among commentators. Sabalenka was struggling with something more profound behind closed doors. The fear of being replaced, the strain, and the scrutiny. She wasn't merely losing games. She thought she was becoming less of herself. ISA, meanwhile, battled her own emotions. She started to be blamed by the media for Sabalenka's collapse. Her accounts were inundated with accusations from trolls. Her career was ruined by you. Congratulations. She quit because of you. You ought to provide an apology. ISA, who was only 19, was unprepared for this. For a moment like this, she worked her entire life. But rather than celebrating a victory that would define her career, she was being pulled into a dispute that she had nothing to do with. She reportedly sobbed after reading the comments, according to friends. She did, however, softly say something to a fellow player amid the commotion. "I'm hoping she stays. I have a lot of respect for her." Sabalenka was appreciated by ISA. This is not what she wanted. However, rumors kept getting worse, and then there was a turning point. "Are you considering leaving the WTA tour?" a reporter asked Sabalenka straight. "I need time," she remarked after pausing and looking down. "I require room." The world heard what it desired to hear. The reality was much more nuanced and human than the internet frenzy. The WTA was never in danger from Sabalenka. She never expressed her desire to quit to the authorities. She never submitted any official paperwork. However, she disclosed something vulnerable to a close friend in private. "There are moments when I feel like everyone expects me to be a machine. I'm not a machine though. I'm shattering." There was no resignation in their statements. They were an appeal for assistance. The WTA discreetly offered assistance with mental health. She wasn't leaving, the coaches who were close to her emphasized. She simply felt overburdened. Media outlets were instructed by tournament directors to cease disseminating misleading information. However, the silence of the truth does not force the internet to slow down. Clarity was required by fans. Her team was nervously called by sponsors. The rumor was exploited for views by news websites and YouTubers. Ella posted a message that changed the tone in an unexpected display of maturity. "Honor each and every player. Every player is a human, and every match is a struggle. I hope we all keep improving in the sport because I learned so much today." After it got viral, the cacophony eventually subsided. A brief statement was issued by Sabalenka's camp. "It's taking Aryna some time to heal emotionally. She is dedicated to the sport, but following a trying time, she needs some distance." Days of upheaval came to an end with those few words. However, it was still unclear if she would bounce back or if this was the start of a downward spiral. After a week, Sabalenka went back to her peaceful private practice. Reporters saw glimpses of her forcefully striking balls as she was determined. The force of reconstruction, not the force of rage. She was recalibrating, not giving up. She's not done, according to her coach. She's starting over. Ayala's notoriety, meanwhile, soared. Fans all over the world applauded her, her nation honored her, and she received invitations to interviews. She never boasted though. She never made fun of anybody. She handled the situation elegantly. Despite their contentious beginnings, their rivalry had evolved into something more. A seasoned warrior battling for her crown. A rising star demonstrating her rightful place in the limelight. Fans were eagerly anticipating the rematch. Sports historians likened the event to historical rivalries and the collision of eras. Tennis needed rivalries like this, according to analysts. Every time their names appeared together, the WTA witnessed an increase in participation. And a single query reverberated throughout the sport. Was this match the start of a new era in women's tennis, or was it really an anomaly? Some thought that after being humiliated, Sabalenka would return stronger and be prepared to destroy anyone who stood in her way. Some thought that Ayala's ascent was fate, the passing of a torch. However, one thing was for sure. This was more than a tale of triumph or defeat. It was a tale of emotion, pressure, legacy, and the thin line separating greatness and failure. Both players were altered by the game. The season was altered, and it may have permanently altered women's tennis. Was this really the start of Ayala's era, or the time Sabalenka broke? Please share your thoughts in the comments section. Sabalenka ultimately stayed in the WTA, but the worry that she would showed how much of an influence she had on the sport. The future of women's tennis has been completely transformed by Ayala's ascent, grace, and bravery. And their competition is just getting begun. Make sure to subscribe, press the like button, and enable notifications if you like this in-depth look at tennis drama so you don't miss the next one. Because we assure you, this season is only